Hi, welcome back to the series of functional safety sessions. I am Tota Krishna Hema, your functional safety expert. So today we would like to discuss about overall safety management, that is a part of part 2 ISO 26262. Let us get into the topic in furthermore slides. So these are the important clauses in part 2, that is uh, Clause 5 is overall safety management. 6 is project dependent safety management. So overall safety management is about organizational safety management or the quality management system which has the safety documentation inside it. Okay, safety related processes, templates and all inside it. And this sixth clause talks about project related safety management, and seventh clause is about safety management regarding production, operation, services and decommissioning. Your clause 5 is talking about the overall safety management. This clause 5 has four main subclauses, that is 5.4.2 is safety culture, 5.4.3 is safety anomaly management, 5.4.4 is competence management, 5.4.5 is quality management system. The main aim of this clause number 5, that is overall safety management, is to define, implement and improve organizational quality management system with respect to ISO 26262. So 5.4.2 safety culture. Let us get into this topic. So how can you ensure that your organization is implementing safety? So we need to bring in that culture, safety culture inside the organization. How can you do it? Is like we need to define the rules and processes with respect to functional safety, and we need to start implementing it inside your organization. And once you are implementing it, then you will get some inputs from the implementation team, and the experiences you need to consider, and you need to take the inputs of the experienced people as the change request or the improvement idea, and you need to implement it in your safety culture as a functional safety management. Okay, and we need to derive improvements from an application which can be applied for the subsequent phases or subsequent items as well. So these all things we need to consider. So, and along with this thing, we need to assign a proper person, okay, person who can do the safety activities, functional safety activities, and we need to assign that person, and we need to give a proper responsibility, means like we need to document a proper responsibility to that person, and also we need to give authority to that person to implement functional safety inside our organization. Okay, the second thing is, or the 5.4.3 is talking about safety anomaly management. So the organization will have its own set of safety anomalies which are identified. So first, as a first thing, like we need to identify a resource who is responsible for this particular safety anomaly. That means this safety anomaly is related to development, then development safety manager is a responsible person. If this particular safety anomaly is is a responsibility of the supplier safety manager, or the client or the customer safety manager, or the person who is implementing production, services, operations or decommissioning. So these are all things we need to consider, and we need to assign this safety anomaly to that particular person. Yeah, we have assigned, and then we need to find out a solution or the resolution for this safety anomaly. So how can you get a resolution? First of all, you need to analyze it. So how it came, how this particular safety anomaly came. So as an further analysis, we need to do root cause analysis. So root cause analysis, in the root cause analysis, from the root cause analysis, you need to identify the corrective action in order to avoid it in the future. Okay, and then after an analysis, okay, you need to means like as a after analysis, as an outcome, you may get it as an change request also. This particular change request which came as an outcome of the safety anomaly analysis, then we need to implement that change request by undergoing the complete change management cycle. Okay, yeah, we did analysis, we did an evaluation, and we are trying to find out a resolution for this. So yeah, we have found out a resolution for this thing. Like we wrote, yeah, with this thing, with this particular correction, or with this particular action item, we can resolve, or we can close the safety anomaly. So once after identification of it, like we need to implement it. So we need to, after implementation, we need to find out the effectiveness by verifying the effectiveness of the identified resolution of the safety anomaly. So once we verify the effectiveness of the implementation of the resolution which is provided to the safety anomaly, like we need to assess it as part of functional safety assessment. So in the functional safety assessment, we need to ensure that a particular rationale is provided for the for this particular safety anomaly resolution. So if no rationale is provided, there is no closure. So you as a functional safety assessor, you should not accept the safety anomaly closure without providing rationale behind it. Okay, your 5.4 is 5.4.4 is competence management, is talking about the required skill set, competence and qualification which is required for performing a particular role. Okay, and you will have a required skills, competence and qualification. Okay, and the resource who is going to be allocated, that resource will have a particular skill set, qualification and competence. So then you need to write, or you need to compare or evaluate the resources skill set with respect to skill set or competence or qualification with respect to the required skill set. So how do you evaluate him is like when he is a new, if he is a new candidate, like new to the organization, then you need to consider his resume as a basis for it. Or else, like if he is an existing resource, then you need to consider his previous assignments or his skill set which is there in the organizational skill set mapping. Okay, and these are all things you need to consider for the evaluation of the competence of this particular resource. So okay, we have conducted an evaluation, and we have come up with the comparison also, required versus actual, and then we have found a shortfall. This particular resource doesn't have enough skills. Then we need to conduct a training or the qualification improvement program we have to do, like to adjust his competence levels to the required level. This competence management is talking about it. And 5.4.5 is about quality management system. Any quality management system which is defined. For example, in automotive, quality management system will be defined based on IATF 6949 and in collaboration with ISO 9001. So there are some frameworks which are available like CMMI and eSpice. So these two also like is required for defining the quality management system. So this all together will form a quality management system. So if you are implementing ISO 26262 along with these things, then you need to write your processes, rules and templates in collaboration with other standards or other frameworks as well. So and then we need to tailor a few of the functional safety activities inside your quality management system. So that's when you need to provide a rationale why you are tailoring this particular phase or sub phase, or in the complete overall safety management. So that's how you need to do. So these are the set of work products which came as an outcome of the entire overall safety management clause number 5. So 5.5.1 is about organizational specific rules and processes for functional safety, which is an outcome of entire overall safety management clause, that is entire clause 5 is a result of, means like this particular record is a result of entire clause 5. So 5.5.2 is talking about evidence of competence, which is an outcome of competence management, and 5.5.3 is about evidence of quality management, that is quality management system a clause. This is an outcome of it. And 5.5.4 is about identified safety anomaly report. This is about management of safety anomalies. So this is an optional thing, like when you identify safety anomalies, then only you can have this report with the rationale provided for the closure and with the safety functional safety assessment report also. With this, I have come to the conclusion of this particular concept. If you like this concept, click on the like button. If you want further more automotive videos, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.